Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Chris Hoff, and it's time for another kitchen table talk. And today we're going to be talking about the myth of the authentic self. Yes, I know it can be a bit controversial, and I'm sure that there aren't many of us who at some time have thought, I need to find my authentic self, or I need to live more authentically. It's in the air we breathe, it's in the media we digest, and people often come to therapy with the idea that I need to find my authentic self or live more authentically or get back to myself, that kind of thing. And I often find this idea troubling. And the reasons are, unfortunately, that this idea has us believing that our lives, as they are, in all their messiness and imperfection, are not our real lives. That there is some alternative life just outside of my real life and just out of reach. And if I peel the onion deep enough, I'll find some pure place. I'll find some real me. And this idea is part and parcel why the self-help industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And this idea also makes us vulnerable to all sorts of consumerism and comparison. So Michael White, the co-creator of narrative therapy, called things like self-actualization and wholeness and authenticity contemporary emblems of normalcy. So meaning that even something like authenticity, depending on where we are located socially, has strong discourses attached to it or strong ideas attached to how it should look. And so is our authenticity even authentic, right? Where does that idea come from? So what are we if not an authentic self? So basically our identities are relational and are constructed in dialogue and in conversation. We are a product of the many voices and stories that live in each of us. So we are constructed by and through our relationships with all our people and our communities. So collaborative therapist Harlene Anderson writes that knowledge and language are contextualized social, cultural, historical, and communal processes that creating theories and ideas and truths and beliefs and realities and how-tos is an interactive, interpretive process of social discourse that occurs within knowledge communities. So rather than searching for some elusive, authentic self, as a therapist grounded in social constructionist and relational ideals, I hope to privilege local knowledge, which is the narratives, the wisdom, the expertise, competencies, truths, values, customs, and language created and used within communities of a person who might be coming to see me for help. In other words, try to simplify it a little bit. In other words, we are a mix of values and beliefs and principles that are always in flux, and a lot of it has to do with who we are around. So, you know that favorite motivational speaker of yours who says that you are the conglomeration of the 5 people you hang out with. Well, they have a point. And actually, that idea, which has a lot of accuracy to it, creates a lot of possibility. There's a lot of possibility and freedom in this paradigm. And in my own life, it created created new knowledge and many opportunities. So a question you may ask yourself at this point, knowing this is how we create ourselves or co-create ourselves with others, is what do you want to be? And I've had a lot of different identities throughout the years. When I wanted to be an artist, I hung out with artists, and I ended up getting my work shown. When I wanted to write poetry, I hung out with poets, and I eventually got published. And when I wanted to be a therapist, I hung out with therapists, and look at me now. And so all of these identities that I have tried on over periods of time were created in community. So what is actually happening in therapy, for example, when someone is seeking to live more authentically or finding their way back to themselves? For example, values and principles and discourses that, in therapy, values and principles and discourses that guide preferred lives become clearer, new intentions are followed through on, new projects of living are created, people transform, possibility is explored. So in closing, don't get captured by the identity of the authentic self. Understand that your identity is fluid and pliable and not fixed. And I'm going to leave you with a quote by Michel Foucault, who says, "I don't feel it's necessary to know exactly what I am. The main interest in life and work is to become someone else that you were not in the beginning, to become someone else that you were not in the beginning." So I believe that, like, our lives, rather than seeking authenticity or an authentic self, we are always in the act of becoming. I just like that idea a lot better, and it works. It works as in ways that I've already described. So anyway, this has been Kitchen Table Talk, taking on a big idea, the authentic self. And as always, I'm Dr. Chris Hoff. Thanks for watching. Peace.